Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be sharing a fabulous trip. An American cousin of mine made at the end of June from New York City to South Italy, Calabria and Sicily. It was an unforgettable trip for him. It was the first time he came to Italy, and I asked him, to write down the story of his trip. And this is the story I want to share with you. Vinnie's Southern Italy and Sicily trip, travelogue 2023. June 28, Rome Airport to Calabria. We arrived at Rome Airport, ready to embark on our Italian journey, while Joan, the maid of honor, took a connected flight closer to the wedding ceremony. Hunter and I picked up a stylish BMW 4 Series rental car from 16, setting the tone for our exciting road trip. Even though we were still tired from the previous day's cancelled flight, we had limited time and had to rush. The 6-hour drive to the wedding venue was an awe-inspiring experience, with breathtaking views of the Calabria mountains and beaches. Hunter quickly changed into his suit at a nearby gas station before we reached the church of Saint Dominic in Cosenza, just 20 minutes before the bride. I drove straight to the Palazzo del Capo Hotel, where the reception was held. I was exhausted and wanted to check in to the hotel and shower. But I heard the church ceremony was beautiful, with violinists and many extravagances. The bride, Yolanda, kindly arranged for us to stay in one of the presidential suites with stunning ocean view. After the ceremony, Hunter rode with the wedding party shuttle to the Palazzo del Capo Hotel. The reception that evening was magical, with music, delicious food, and firework display at the top of the hotel during dessert and cake. There were many guests at the event, and almost all were relatives of the bride from Cosenza. Only a small number of us were from the United States. The women had dark hair and olive skin, while the younger men wore fitted suits and the older men had a noticeable mafioso look. They were giving small-town vibes and appeared distant or reserved towards the few guests who spoke English, which I learned might be due to their insecurity about their inability to speak English, associated with being lower class and less educated. This may or may not be true. June 29th, Calabria, Matera. The morning after the wedding, we start with breakfast at the hotel. The nearby hotel beach offered a serene setting to relax and enjoy the water with friends, surrounded by picturesque coastal beauty. We headed to Matera that afternoon to meet up with friends staying there, and near Matera we followed a sign for scenic views and stumbled upon the Casal Dragone vineyard by accident. Despite the vineyard being closed then, the welcoming owners graciously offered us a wine tasting experience along with cheese and fried dried peppers. These peppers reminded me of my nonna's salted peppers I used to eat on bread. Our friend Joe, the only one who speaks Italian fluently, engaged in a friendly conversation with the owner's wife. Joan mentioned her family's origins in Sardinia and shared that my mother is from Calabria, San Vito sullo Ionio. The owner's wife seemed pleasantly surprised to learn about my Italian heritage, as she may have initially perceived me as a typical American tourist. Due to the language barrier, I felt slightly disconnected from the Italian people throughout the trip, but appreciated a warm hospitality. After arriving at our destination in Matera and parking the rental car, we met up with friends staying in Matera, and we spent the afternoon exploring the city's historic sites, nature, and streets. We had dinner at Capunto Matera. June 30th, Tropea to Taormina, Sicily. We bid farewell to the lovely Palazzo del Capo Hotel and made our way to Tropea, a town that captured our hearts. Our time there was filled with exploring the street and browsing the shops and restaurants. We also swam at the Tyrrhenian Sea beach while visiting the Santuario di Santa Maria dell'Isola di Tropea, perched above the beach. The atmosphere was surreal, and we couldn't help but notice the lively energy around us. The beach even had a DJ playing great music, with reggaeton being a clear favorite among the locals, especially the reggaeton artist Bad Bunny. I don't know why I thought that was cool, that they liked Bad Bunny. Leaving Tropea, we stumbled upon a delight fruit stand run by a young man named Michele Arena. When we first met Michele, his energy, charm, and charisma had us laughing. He welcomed us with open arms, offering a delectable taste of authentic Calabrian salami, cheese, and homemade wine. The flavors were simply unforgettable. We decided to take home some of these succulent apricot, or were they plums, for what seemed like pennies. Michele's infectious personality made this stop a memorable experience, giving us the boost we needed. We continued to Messina Ferry, and the GPS took us to the back roads of Calabria, which was an absolute culture shock. Sorry. I felt like the villages we drove through never had American there. I thought that one of these villages could possibly have been like the town my mother was from, San Vito sullo Ionio. During our road trip to southern Italy, I saw numerous signs for my mother's hometown in Catanzaro. Although I was eager to visit, we couldn't due to the initial cancelled flight that took away a day from our itinerary. However, exploring Calabria and straying from the typical tourist routes was an incredibly freeing experience. I felt like we transitioned from being tourists to genuine travelers, fully immersing ourselves in the authentic essence of the region. During our ferry ride to Messina, we enjoyed lovely views the entire way. The boat was relatively empty, giving us a sense of exclusivity and luxury. Once reaching Messina, we drove to Taormina and checked in at Hotel Sirius. I loved Taormina so much, exploring captivating town of Taormina with its excellent shopping perched up on these cliffs, with these stunning views, ancient ruins, and everything. It's got this charming mix of history and modern vibes like It's just so unique and special. After some exploring, we headed to Ristorante Pizzeria Porto Messina that evening, and the food was exceptional. We were pleasantly surprised at how cheap everything was in southern Italy and Sicily compared to New York prices. June 1st, Taormina, Sicily. The following day, I soaked in the breathtaking views from our hotel balcony. The hotel was within walking distance, and everything making it convenient to take the nearby cable car ride to Isola Bella. We enjoy a boat excursion day tour, swimming and exploring the island. Back at the hotel, we enjoy picturesque views by the pool with Campari Spritzes, my personal drink of choice for the rest of the trip. That evening, we took Alfredo's food and wine walking tour, introducing us to Taormina culinary treasures and osterias with plenty of wine to savor. When we first met the tour guide, Alfredo, he was having trouble pronouncing Anter's name and kept saying it in a peculiar way. After a few attempts, John and I decided to help him out and said his name is Anter, or you can just call him Cacciatore. After the second stop of the walking tour, we arrived at a bar where Alfredo, our guide, introduced the dish we were about to have, arancini, as if we hadn't already had plenty of it. As he explained the ingredients, he said in his Italian, British, English accent, arancini has rice, meat, and peas. He wanted to say peas. With the help of several glasses of wine, I was trying to hold in my uncontrollable laughter. I glanced at Ante, who was smirking, and he warned me, don't. Soon, this random guy from the tour, who happened to be from Denmark, looked at me and started laughing very loudly. I just couldn't hold it in anymore after that. When Alfredo asked what was funny, I couldn't find it in my heart to tell him the truth. Anyway, it was hilarious at that time. After the tour, we were still hungry and decided to have a late dinner. The restaurant was perfect way to end our day. And later, having pistachio cannolo at a different place, we also had gelato everywhere we went. July 2nd, Syracuse, Sicily. We set out to explore Syracuse, making it a point to stop at autogrills for espresso everywhere along the autostrada. In Syracuse, we spent time at the Parco Archeologico della Napoli and the ancient Greek theatre. The next stop was discovering the Duomo di Siracusa, Fountain of Diana, and Castello Maniace Ortigia. Syracuse was a fascinating historical journey. On our way to Palermo, we attempted to visit an agriturismo, but it was closed. John spoke to the owner of the agriturismo, and he recommended a restaurant close by in Zafferana Etnea, where we had dinner at Il Castello di Bacco. Zafferano is quaint and is often visited by Italian and other European tourists on their way to Mount Etna. We were the only American and tourists that day, and it felt surreal. The town was truly a hidden gem, and it felt spatial. And this is the first part of the story. Thank you for watching.